Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Johnny Torres, aquí estamos en el colegio número 10 en Passaic. Estamos llevando a cabo nuestro programa de Reaching Our Dreams, programa que llevamos a cabo todos los años en New York y New Jersey. El programa está auspiciado por Save Latin America y hoy tenemos una oradora, una presentadora muy especial. Su nombre es Lisette Céspedes y una joven hispana que ha triunfado en su profesión y va a presentarnos a los niños de tercer y cuarto grado de la escuela número 10 de Passaic.
He's here this afternoon with us.
Thank you for your partner. Terrific. How are you today? You're fine. Of course you are fine today. You know why you are fine? Because you're young, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, and you have lots of people that love you. At home you have mother and father that loves you, then you have grandparents and uncles and brothers and sisters, and they all love you. And you're healthy. And then you come to school. In school you have the principal, the assistant principal, or the staff of the school, teachers' aides, and the teachers. They all love you. How many of you know that the teachers love you? Let me see those hands. Terrific. Very, very good. And then you have other people in the community that you don't even know that loves you. You have an organization called Save Latin America. But don't let that name, Save Latin America, mislead you. We're very much interested in the Latin American living in this country. And because we are very much interested in the well-being of the Hispanic community, we are also very much interested in education. And we have a challenge in front of us. You know what the challenge is? The challenge is that our youngsters are not finishing high school. They are abandoning the school system with a school diploma to the rate of 30%. That means out of each 100, 30 youngsters out of each 100 do not finish high school. And that is very sad. That is very sad because, you know what? I'll tell you a little secret. Each and every one of you, and I repeat, each and every one of you is a genius. Are you aware of that? Each and every one of you is a genius. You could learn whatever you set your mind to learn. You could do whatever you set your mind to do. You could accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in life. But sometimes we get confused. And in the process, we kind of lose interest in education. And it's very sad that geniuses like you don't give the interest, don't pay the attention that you should be paying to education. And education is the key to succeed in everything that you want to do in life. You want to be a taxi driver? Be a taxi driver. Make sure you have your education. You want to be a car mechanic? Be a car mechanic. You should have your education. Now, how many of you feel that it's sad that our youngsters are not finishing high school to the tune of 30%. Let me see those hands. Terrific. Beautiful. You know what that tells me? That tells me that each and every one of you are going to pay much more attention to education from now on. And you know what? You may suggest, Mr. Torres, who wants to do homework? Who wants to get up on a day that is very cold, that is raining, that is snowing, that is very windy, to come to school? You know what? Think of it. Mother and father, you mother and you father, they have a big responsibility. Rain or shine, they have to get up in the morning and go to work. And they go to work to earn the monies to provide you with shelter, food, and clothing. Right or wrong? That is the parents' responsibility. The teacher's responsibility is to help you learn things that you need to develop in your social life. And then they teach you math and history and science and a lot of other subjects. That's their job. What is your job? Who wants to tell me?
To come to school, to learn.
And what's your name?
Nelson.
Nelson said his responsibility, Nelson is clear. Mom and Pop gets up early in the morning, rain or shine, and go to work to earn the money to buy Nelson, to provide Nelson shelter, clothing, and food. And Nelson understands that the teacher's responsibility is to teach him all the subjects that I discussed before. But now Nelson also understands that responsibility is, who wants to tell me? Come to school and learn and pay attention in the class and do your homework. That's your responsibility. And then, how many of you have dreams? Terrific, terrific. I was talking to a class, a group like this some time ago, and one of the students told me, yes, Mr. Torres, I'd like to be a doctor, but you see, I am Dominican, and I am black, and my parents are very poor, so I don't think I have good chances. Honest to God, this is what this young man told me. Now let me tell you a little story. Think of a young lady, her parents, she was born in California. Her parents are both Mexicans, and they're not academically educated, they didn't go to school. And this little young lady is one of 5 children. And the parents are so poor that her father used to earn the living by picking up garbage in the neighborhoods and seeking things that he could turn into a few dollars that he used then to buy food. And the food most of the time was very scarce at dinner time. Are you thinking of that young lady? Think of this young lady, about 9 years of age, very poor parents. His father pushes a car picking up garbage in the streets, in the neighborhood, and then seeking out those things that he could turn into a few dollars. You have it in your mind? All right. This young lady's name is Ana Escobedo Cabral. Ana Escobedo Cabral. At the age of 9, people were asking Ana, what do you want to do when you grow up? Her answer, I want to be an employee of the White House. And you know what? People laugh. Come on. You must be dreaming. You are poor. Look what your father does for living. Your parents are not only very poor, they have no education. Besides, you're a female and you're a Mexican. Come on. You're dreaming. Well, Anna kept on saying to everybody, I want to be an employee of the White House when I grow up. How many of you have seen a $1 bill? Terrific. I have here an enlarged photograph of a $1 bill. My photographer took a $1 bill and he made a photo of that $1 bill and then he enlarged it for this purpose. So I will show it to you. See? Now, every $1 bill is signed by the Treasurer of the United States. I'm going to ask Ms. Vargas to read the name, the signatures in this $1 bill.
Ana Escobedo Cabral.
Ana Escobedo Cabral signed this bill. That is the young lady that comes from a very poor family, Mexican woman, but she had a dream. And she understood that it's not enough to have a dream, you have to work for it. She also signs the $50 bills. All right? She signs billions and billions of dollars. How many of you are here from Mexico? Wow! Isn't that beautiful? Very good. But you know what? Ana Escobedo Cabral also signed the $100 bills. Ana Escobedo Cabral is a little girl that comes from very poor, very humble beginnings. And Ana Escobedo Cabral had a dream. Again, how many of you have a dream? Terrific. And then the reason I'm telling you these stories, my dear young friends, is because I see a lot of Ana Escobedo Cabral in this audience. And you know what? The fact that you may come from humble families, poor families, the fact that your parents may not be able to help you with your homework because they don't know how to speak English, that should not be an impediment for you to have a dream and to make your dreams come true. Why? Because each and every one of you is a genius. And if you have a dream and you're willing to work hard for that dream, you're going to be another Ana Escobedo Cabral. But you know what? You're very young. At your age, you are living in a world of fantasy. And you think a lot of playing and having fun, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You could have fun, you could play, you could go to the movies, you could watch your television, you could play with your computer, you could go and play and practice, I should say, your sport of your choice. You could do all that. But if you really have a dream, if you really want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, a scientist, if you want to be whatever it is, a pilot, whatever it is that you want to be, at your age, you have to start thinking. Ana Escobedo Cabral was 9 when she started saying that she wanted to be an employee of the White House. But there is another ingredient, another element to this. You know what? You have to believe in yourself. If you do not believe in yourself, you're not going to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And you have to respect yourself. So think of this. You have a dream, like Ana Escobedo Cabral had a dream. Your responsibility now is to first believe in whom? Who are you going to believe in? In yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And then you have to respect yourself. That entails that you don't put into your body any strange agents that may do you harm. That's part of respecting yourself. Part of respecting yourself is organizing your life for play and study and relax. You have to play, of course. But more important than playing is doing your homework. And reading. You know what? You know what is the most important thing that a man could possess? Is knowledge. When I ask this question, sometimes the kids tell me, "Mommy, you know what? Nonsense. The most important thing that you could possess is knowledge. With your knowledge, now you do things to bring in the monies. And you know where you obtain your knowledge? In school. You obtain your knowledge in school and in reading. So if you respect yourself, if you believe in yourself, and if you organize your life to pay attention to developing your knowledge, you are, each and every one of you is a genius. You have it within you to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life. When I was your age, I wanted to be an interior designer, like an architect, because my father was an architect. And I wanted to be an interior designer. But that was, when I was 14 years of age, I moved from Puerto Rico, and I came to live in a little village called Lake Ronkonkoma. That's about 150 miles away from here, in Long Island. I was the only Hispanic, I guess, in the whole town, the whole village. I was the only Hispanic in school. And at that time, people laughed at me because I didn't know how to speak English. And then that was the first year. The second year, they were laughing at me because I was speaking English with an accent. And then something else happened. I was always, in every classroom that I went, that I sat on, I was always, in this classroom, I'm sitting in this classroom, always the smallest one, physically. Kids 2 years younger than I was, they were bigger than me. And you know what? I became very attracted to the bullies. So think of this. I had now 2 challenges. They laughing at me because I don't know how to speak English. On one hand, the other hand, I was very attracted to the bullies. So I had 2 challenges. And see, life is about challenges. And then you have a challenge, you have to decide what you're going to do. You have to choose your decisions. So life is about challenges, and then your choices bring you consequences. Now, I said to myself, they may be laughing at me because I don't know how to speak English. So, I decided that I was going to be the best student in my classroom. And then homework became like sacred to me. All I did, after school, homework was the main thing for me. I have to do my homework. And then I have to read. Did I participate in sports? Of course I did. Did I have fun? Of course I did. Did I play around like any other 14 years old? Of course I did. But in the meantime, homework and reading and paying attention in class became the focus in my life. And I did, from that year on, up to college, I was always the #1 student. I graduated New York University as an interior designer, the first Puerto Rican to ever earn a degree in interior design from this university with honors. NYU, Puerto Rican, interior design, honors. You know why? Because I worked for it. What happened with the bullies? Very simple. I registered myself, I didn't tell anybody, but I registered myself in a judo school. And that was the end of the bullies. I was not attractive any longer to them. You could accomplish whatever it is that you set your mind to do, because each and every one of you is a genius. And then you may say, Mr. Torres, how could I be a genius? I'm not doing very well in math. And the reason why I select math is because math was my poor subject. And the fact that you could do very good in history and in science and not very good in math, it means that that particular subject needs a little more attention. Math was my problem. But you know what? You cannot be an interior designer unless you're good in math. So what I did was I paid more attention to that subject. I study more. And then I clean up the scores. Now, you are going to be invited to write an essay. How many of you like to write? Let me see those hands. I noticed one thing. Before, you have been going this way. Now you're just going this way, like in slow motion. You know what? At your age, most of us don't like to write. But remember that I said you are going to be invited. And you know what? You don't have to accept the invitation. But life is about challenges, choices, and consequences. I invite you to write an essay. You don't have to accept the invitation. That is your decision. You could choose not to accept my invitation. Consequence. You're going to deny yourself the opportunity to be invited to dinner, with you parents and brothers and sisters your age and you teachers, and our speaker here today will come there that evening and present you with a plaque. Three of you are going to be invited to a nice restaurant to dinner. Now, how many of you are going to accept the invitation to write the essays? Terrific. Terrific. I'm proud of you. Very good. Now, I hope you have been making your mental notes of what I've been talking about. Certainly make sure that when I present today's speaker, that you pay a lot of attention to her. Because the essay that you are going to be writing is based in today's presentation. And I want a 250 words maximum. 150 words minimum, 250 words maximum. You know, sometimes you could go crazy writing and writing. If you write too much, you're going to be disqualified. The judges will disqualify you immediately. It has to be no more than 250 words and not less than 150 words. The subject, today's presentation. And with that, I'm going to call to the podium, to the front, this young lady. Her name is Lisette Cespedes, and she earned, she's got a BA, and she is program assistant of UMD NJ. She is the Medical School Division of Academic Medicine, Geriatrics in Community Programs. She is right in the front here. Let's give a big hand to this lovely young lady, Lisette.
So now I'm going to ask you all again, how many of you have dreams? I hope everybody's hand is raised. I don't see everybody's hand raised. Everybody has a dream, right? Who wants to tell me their dream? Somebody tell me their dream. You talked already. You tell me. What's your dream?
To be a football player and to be a Hall of Fame.
Who else? One more. I'm going to go over here because everybody here gets a chance. What's your dream?
To be an astronaut.
Be an astronaut? Okay. No more, because then I want to tell you about my dream. So my dream, when I was about your age, was to be a doctor. And every time everybody asked me, they said, what do you want to do when you grow up? I used to say I want to be a pediatrician. And everybody, like Johnny said, would say, oh, you know, that's a hard career. You're a woman. You want to have a family. You want to have kids. If you become a doctor, you're not going to be able to have a family. You're not going to have kids. You're not going to have a husband. So, you know, the Hispanic community has a lot of ideas about who can become certain careers. So, okay, so I took that in, and I said, well, anyway, I'm going to try to be a doctor. And when I was in school, I had a lot of people, I used to do very well in school. But my family is from Cuba, right? How many of you have parents that were not born in this country? Most of you, right? And how many of your parents don't speak English? A lot of you, right? So like a lot of you, my mother did not speak English. So when I had a lot of homework to do and I would take it home, I didn't have anybody to help me. How many of you are in that situation? That nobody can help you with homework at home? So it's harder, right? So like most of you, when I was in grammar school, and I was your age, and I had homework to do, it was very difficult because I didn't have a lot of people to help me. So that was one of my main challenges. And throughout school, I had a lot of challenges. But the one thing that I did have, in addition to the challenges, was motivation, right? You know? What is it? What's motivation? You don't want to tell me? I'll tell you. What is it? Something that motivates you to do something that you want to do. So I had that. And my motivation was that I wanted to prove everybody wrong. Right? Everybody that told me that I couldn't be a doctor, I wanted to show them that I could. So that was my motivation to do good in school. And how many of you think that doing good in school is not so cool? Right? Who thinks not doing good in school is not cool? Right? If you get straight A's, that's not cool, right? Some of you think that? No? Okay, that's good if you don't think it. But in my grammar school, a lot of people would make fun of me because I did good in school. But I tried not to listen to them, right? So I did good in school. And I graduated grammar school like you guys with honors. Okay? So even though some people thought that I wouldn't be able to do it, I did it. And I went to a magnet high school in Hudson County, high-tech high school. You have to apply to get into that school. And I went there. And I kept on with my dream that I wanted to be a doctor. And my dream kept motivating me to do good in school. Even when people still said to me, oh, you're a nerd. You do good in school, you're such a nerd. You don't have fun. Right? But I did, I had fun. And I kept on with my dream. And I still had the same obstacles. My mom couldn't help me with my homework. And people at school told me that I wasn't going to be able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And I stayed doing good in high school. Who's heard of the SATs? What is the SATs? Who knows? What's the SATs? Huh? Tell me again. Kind of. What the SAT is a test that you have to take in order to get into college. Okay? And so I had to take my SATs, and I wanted to apply to a good college. How many of you want to go to a good college? Yeah, right? You all want to go to a good college. So I wanted to go to one of the best colleges in the whole country. And have you guys heard of Ivy League? Have you heard of that, the Ivy League? It's the top 8 colleges in the country. And in my high school, I had somebody, the guidance counselor, tell me, you're never going to get into that college because you're Hispanic, you're a woman, and they're not going to accept you there. And guess what? I did. And I was accepted to Brown University, which is in Rhode Island. And you know what happened with the guidance counselor? I proved him wrong. And I went on to Brown University, and I had a lot of people, even though I had a lot of people tell me that I wasn't going to do it, there were also a lot of people that told me I could do it, right? So even though there's some people that are going to tell you you're not going to be able to accomplish your dream, in the same way, there's going to be people that are going to tell you you can. And I had somebody like that. I went to a summer program in high school, and I had somebody who said to me, don't listen to what those people are telling you, the negative things that they're telling you. If you try, and if you do your best, and if you present the best that you can do, then you have a chance. How many of you have people like that tell you that you can do it? Good. That's very good. Listen to those people that are giving you positive influence. Don't listen to the people that are telling you the negative. Listen to people that are telling you the positive. And you know what those people are called? They're called mentors. And they're people that are going to help you accomplish your dream. So you want to listen to those people. And that woman, her name was Dr. Sanchez from the summer program, and she said, you know what, Liz said, I think you can apply to that school, and I think you will get in. And she was right, and she helped me apply, and I went on to Brown University. And I graduated about 2 years ago, and then I still didn't start and when I was in college, I did the programs to get into medical school, because another part of accomplishing your dream is having a plan, right? So you say, I want to be, like you said, you want to be an astronaut, right? So when you go to high physics and chemistry and all those subjects. And who was it? You said you wanted to be a football player, right? So if you want to be a football player, you have to practice football, right? And you have to become good at what you're going to do. So that's what I did. So I had a plan. And while I was in college, I took the steps of my plan, which was to get good grades, do community service, and all those steps. And I took all those steps. And then when I graduated, I started working at a medical school. And I started working at the medical school where I wanted to attend. So I started working at New Jersey Medical School, which is in Newark. And that was part of my plan, to become familiar with the school and meet people there. And I did. And then I met another important person, another mentor. I want you guys to remember that word, mentor. Somebody that's going to give you positive influences and help you achieve your dreams. And I found another person there who told me, you know what, Lisa, you may be Hispanic, you might be a woman, but you can become a doctor if that's what you want to do. And the person that I found was a woman, a Latina. She was from Puerto Rico. Her parents were from Puerto Rico. And she helped me take the steps to apply to medical school. And guess what? Now, in August, I'm going to start medical school at New Jersey Medical School. And in 4 years, I'll be a doctor. So I took all the steps that I need to take, and now I'm going to achieve my dream to become a doctor. Even though there were so many people along the way that told me that I couldn't do it. And I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't easy. How many of you think school is hard? It's hard, right? Some subjects are hard. It's hard to do your homework. You have to help in your house, right? I had all those things that I had to do. But you have to, like Johnny said, put things in order. And like Johnny, I also went out with my friends and I had fun. But the first thing I used to do when I got home was do my homework. Right? Do your homework and get good grades. And talk to your teachers if you're having problems. Because they're there to help you. They're not there to help hurt you. So I did all that. And even though my mom didn't speak English, I found other people that could help me with my homework, right? And when I was in high school and people told me I couldn't do it, I didn't listen to them. And I still had my goals and my plan, and I followed them regardless of what other people said, right? And now I'm going to accomplish my dream. So it's doable. But I'm not going to lie to you, it hasn't been easy, right? One of the steps that I took was that I used to do summer programs in high school. How many of you like the summer? Yeah, right? You like to play, you like to go to the movies, you like to go outside, right? Guess what I used to do in the summers? I used to go to school in the summer. Not summer school because I got bad grades, right? Because some people go to school because they got bad grades. I chose to go to school in the summer while I was in high school. While all my friends were having fun, I was studying. And that program helped me get into a good college, which helped me now get into medical school. So you see, everything has a plan. One thing helps the other, helps the next thing, helps the next thing. So you do good in grammar school, you get into a good high school. You do good in high school, what happens? Scream it out, go ahead, scream it out. And if you go to college, what happens? What can you accomplish? Anything. That's a good one, I like that one. You can accomplish anything. Because you know that even though you want to be a football star, did you know that you could go to college as a football star? And you know what? If you continue being good in football, you can get a scholarship. How many of you want to get scholarships? Everybody wants to get a scholarship. You know why? How many of you, your families are poor, right? A little bit poor, somewhat poor. How many of you think that if you don't have money, you can't go to school? How many people have told you that lie? That if you don't have money, you can't go to college? Some of you have heard that. Guess what? The government, I don't know if I should use that word, but the government helps you pay for school, scholarships. If you get good grades, you get free money to go to school. You know what? I used to get good grades in high school, and I got in my first year class at college, I was the one person with the highest number of scholarships. And that was, even though somebody told me I would never even get into that college, right? So I don't want to keep telling you the same thing over and over, but I hope that today my presentation helped you see that it's possible to accomplish anything you put your mind to. How many of you have heard that before? You can do anything you put your mind to, right? A lot of you have heard it. How many of you think, oh, it's not true? Some of you might think it's not true, but you know what? I'm here to tell you that it's true. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of dedication, because even though you want to be outside playing, sometimes it means that you have to sacrifice playing with your friends to do your homework. So you have to make, like Johnny said, you have to make a choice. Now, let's say you choose to play outside. Next day, when you have a test in school, you might not do so good, right? So you have to make good choices. And you have to be motivated. Always keep that dream in the back of your mind. You know what I used to do when I used to, even in college, when I used to have a hard time? I used to close my eyes and I used to picture myself in a hospital as a doctor. And I used to think, wow, that would be so cool. And it will keep me motivated. So when you have a hard time in school, think about your dream. If you want to be a lawyer, think about yourself in a courtroom, defending a client. If you want to be an astronaut, think about yourself flying a spaceship out into the moon, right? Go to a place and try on a helmet or whatever, try something on that makes you look like an astronaut. And envision yourself. And even though it's going to be hard, because everything in life is hard. If you have something that you want to accomplish, nobody's going to say, here, you're so pretty, you can have it. Nobody's going to say that to you. You have to work hard. So always keep that dream in the back of your mind. Okay? So I hope that this presentation helped you learn that everything that you dream about is accomplishable. You just have to work hard, try your best, and never give up. Okay? Thank you.
Terrific. All right. See what she said before? When you do very good, whether in school, in business, whether it's teaching, you kind of pay a price for being good. You're going to find a lot of people that are not doing what you're doing. A lot of people that are not as responsible as you are, and they start telling you things. Okay? They may laugh at you, they may accuse you of this and that. You have to have courage. You know what? Life is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. It's a challenge. I was challenged by my size, by an ability at a certain time to speak Spanish. She was a challenge. But you know what? If you want to do, if you want to accomplish, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be a football player, whatever, you set your mind to it, you develop a program. You know what that program right now should be? School. Be the best you can in school. And before I close, let me invite to the front all the teachers that are in this room. For a nice photograph. All the teachers, please come to the front. All the teachers, please come to the front. I have something to tell. All right. Now, you see this group of fine men and women in the front. This, ladies and gentlemen, at one time was sitting exactly where you're sitting today. And they went through all the grades. You know what made them better than some other in the classroom? The fact that they took a passion for the studies. They wanted to be teachers in different subjects. And they went to school. They finished elementary school. And they did very well. Then they went to high school. And they did very well. And then they went to college. And they did very well. And then they kept on studying the masters and doctorship, so on, doctorate. And then today, you know what they do? Today they are passing on to you everything that they learn in all the grades and all the years of school. So I want you to quietly stand up and let's give this group of ladies and gentlemen a big ovation. A big one to the teachers. How wonderful teachers. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Dan. Very good. All right, now, you have to have a plan, and that plan entails studying, reading, paying attention in every classroom that you sit in. You have to pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 of you, and let me tell you, Mrs. Vargas, I can just feel that I'm going to have to give you more than 5, more than 3 winners. Because, let me tell you something else. This year we have something new. The school with the best essays, will have a $300 prize. So you're going to be working for yourself and you'll be helping the school, because if this school gives me, and let me tell you, it's going to be tough. I have the first one from Gonzalez in, telling you, very, very good. See? So, are you going to be winning for yourself and the school? Let me see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 250 words, not less than 150 words, and I need those essays as soon as possible, Mrs. Vargas. You've been a wonderful, wonderful audience. Don't forget, you have to believe in yourself, you have to respect yourself, you have to have a plan, and go for whatever it is, whether you want to be an astronaut, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever it is that you like to be. God bless you all. See you soon.
Puede empezar presentando